The ICEVI, the Nippon Foundation Mathematics Package for Teachers video series, Abacus as a Mathematical Tool. Title of the video: Adjustment of Assumed Quotient in Every Division Process. Let us take the example 3627 divided by 41. Let us set the dividend 3627 in the right extreme of the abacus. That is, 3 is set in the thousands column, 6 in the hundreds column, 2 in the tens column, and 7 in the units column. Set the divisor 41 in the extreme left of the abacus. As the number 4 of the divisor is larger than the highest digit of the dividend, and in this case it is 3, there is no need to skip a column in setting the quotient. Now we have to make a decision on the assumed quotient. Let us take the first 2 digits of the dividend and take the first digit of the divisor, which is 4, and consider 7 as the assumed quotient, which can be set to the left of 36. Let us start doing the division process by saying 7 multiplied by 4 is 28. We have to subtract 2 from 3 in the thousands column and 8 from 6 in the hundreds column. As we can't do that, we have to subtract 1 from the thousands column and add 2 in the hundreds column. We have to proceed with the next step of division problem, that is multiply 7 with 1, which is 7, and therefore it should be treated as 07 and subtracted from 82. As we can't subtract 7 from 2, we have to subtract 1 in the hundreds column and add 3 in the tens column. That is, add 5 in the tens column and subtract 2 in the lower abacus. Before we proceed further, let us check the first 2 digits, and they are 75. This is greater than the divisor. Therefore, our assumed quotient is not the actual quotient. What do we do now? You simply add 1 to the assumed quotient, which makes it 8 now, and say 1 multiplied by 41, that is 41, that should be subtracted from the 75. That is 4 subtracted from the hundreds column, that is, in the hundreds column, clear 5 in the upper abacus and add 1 in the lower abacus. And you have to subtract 1 in the tens column, that is, clear 5 in the tens column and add 4 in the lower abacus. Now we are left with 347. Let us take the first digit of the divisor, that is 4, and the first 2 digits of the dividend, that are 34. Now ask, how many 4s in 34? There are 8. By rule, we reduce 1 from the 8 and set the 7 as the assumed quotient. Now multiply 7 with 4, that is 28, which is subtracted from 34. That is, 2 is cleared in the hundreds column, and then 8 should be cleared from the tens column. As we cannot do that, subtract 1 in the hundreds column and add 2 in the tens column. That is, add 5 in the upper abacus and subtract 3 in the lower abacus. Now multiply 7 with 1, that is 07, that should be subtracted. That is, 0 from the tens column and 7 from the units column. Now check the remainder. We have 60 which is larger than the dividend. This cannot be, and therefore our assumed quotient at the second stage 2 is smaller than the actual quotient. Now add 1 to the quotient and subtract 41 from 60. That is 4 is subtracted in the tens column. That is clear 5 in the upper abacus and add 1 in the lower abacus. Now 1 should be subtracted from the units column. As there is no bead left in the units column, you have to subtract 1 in the tens column and add 9 in the units column. Let us check the result area. We get 88 as the quotient and 19 as the remainder, which are separated by a column. This is a classic example of making adjustments in the assumed quotient in both the division processes.